Technology can get in the way of students having the face-to-face interaction with each other and with you as the teacher. However, it's really from day one how you as a teacher incorporate your norms and your expectations for your students and how you want them to interact with one another and how you want them to interact with technology with one another. And holding them to those expectations and those norms, because it can definitely get in the way of them interacting, respectfully, appropriately, productively with one another, but it can also be a really big way to link a lot of different types of students together and work together. Something at our school that we do is we're a project-based school where students work a lot in groups, so they're practicing working together, having specific roles, and using their own computers to complete a task while still being able to hold up the norms of the class that the teacher have set, as well as the expectations. I I agree with extension virtual classrooms online. Taking some courses in college myself was really helpful for me and it was a good success. But I really don't see that being like a good means of educating students. You have to take into consideration like the grade in which you're expecting students to be a part of a virtual classroom. For example, I would not expect my ninth grade students who I teach now to be able to independently go online and learn. Um, Whereas like in college, like I was able to do that. I had that discipline, as do others. Um, but I also think, like we are really like we're teaching students from day one to be prepared for the next grade and so on and so forth. And so then like our goal is, as teachers, as educators, is to prepare them to then graduate high school and to either, go to college and or get a job. And I believe that having a virtual online classroom can really take away from the authentic way of learning, which then prepares students for real life or life outside of school. You don't get that face-to-face interaction, that face-to-face learning, the conversations that you get in an actual school environment. That is really, those are life skills that students need in order to be successful. And I wouldn't think that you could get that as well in an online classroom extension versus in an actual classroom. I do not see, older teachers having a lack of interest when it comes to incorporating technology into the classrooms. I see it there being more of a barrier, because, older teachers have taught in a particular way and they've seen that be successful. And it's probably difficult to learn how to use technology, how to incorporate it into the classroom, as well as teaching it, like teaching students how to use technology. And I could understand how that could be hard to simultaneously like implement it, teach with it, and then also have students learn from it. I could imagine that being hard. But then that becomes like a bigger question, like towards the school, like what kind of school, what, do we want to have, and like what does that mean? Because like our teachers have to represent that. So I think it's a bigger question of like what's a school's mission and whether teachers' values align with that. Technology really is beneficial for students with special education. Like I mentioned previously, instead of going into a class and hearing a lesson on a particular topic one time, students are able to learn about that certain topic however many times that they want. They can go back and they can revisit that material. Again, at school, at home, they can review it with somebody outside of school. It also provides what's called the universal way of learning, is like a variety of ways in which students can interact and comprehend the content. So for a child who is, visually and auditorily stronger, then I would have them, for example, watch a video on the French Revolution about a particular topic rather than read an article about it. It also, really helps for students who, might be low level readers, or, need support on reading. You could have text to speech where, you're able to highlight something and have it be read out loud to them. It also has speech to text, where if a child, has a hard time writing lengthy papers, but they can verbalize it really well, then they're able to speak it and then have it be put onto a document online, which is really great, because then they're able to show that they know the content and that they can complete an assignment. It's just with, technology assistive devices, it can be a big win for them. I don't personally know or have known a parent who is against technology being integrated into the classrooms, but there are a couple hurdles that have come up when working with parents and their students when it comes to the technology in the school. One of them is, and it's a big one, is that, we're teaching students absolutely how to use the technology, but then we're also teaching the parents how to use the technology and how to access the students, online curriculum, how to know what they should be researching that night for certain things, making sure that the student is, has internet at home. If not, working with the parents on how to, get them to particular places that have internet. And then the other thing that has come up is the bridging between the traditional way of learning, with the teacher more so in the front of the room doing direct instruction, versus integrating more technology where the students kind of driving their learning and being able to research on their own or pull specific pieces from an online website in order to complete an assignment. And that can be challenging for students. So parents have definitely communicated in the past on bridging more of the resources and the supports that students were used to in their previous year to now incorporating more technology and being a little bit more self-directed in their learning and in their researching, and kind of bridging those two so that the child feels successful and feels like they know what they're doing.